Thanks for staying with us. Still on the issue of compromising in marriage. I want to believe that what we have described here now is a healthy marriage, right? Where the two partners involved are supposed to be rational and reasonable. And because they love their partner, you're able to, okay, let me do this for you. Let me step down so that we can do this for the family. You're thinking of the greater goal. You're thinking of the fact that you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. So in that sort of relationship, it's easier to compromise. I had to compromise a lot in my relationship. I used to eat onions, sliced, very large. You know, when you cook for my father and he doesn't see the chunky onions, he will not enjoy the food. It was as bad as when I'm frying plantains or yam or whatever it is I fry. I slice onions and put in the oil, the aroma alone, before I even start frying. It was something I grew up with. But then I met a man who doesn't like to see onion in the food. He will not, in fact, when we go out, when we were dating, when we go out, I'll be picking out onion for him outside. So when I started cooking, I had to make sure that I blend all my onions. I use a lot of onion, but I blend it. You don't see it in the food. Now, when I see big onions in it, I'm not even able to eat it again because I've done this for 20-something years of my life. It's, you know, like this is like a healthy compromise. There are other things that I'm a very scattered person, for instance. Once I go and look for one item in the wardrobe, everything comes down, and I will not arrange it. Scatter, scatter, you know, he had to compromise on that. I love you enough, it doesn't matter, I'll call somebody, or he helps me to tidy and arrange it. These are some compromises. Sometimes I want to take a trip, hold on, no. I want to take a trip, maybe I have like a coaching course or something, and then he's asking her, you know, I have a meeting, you know, who is going to look after the kids? I step down. You know, so I can look after the kids, so he travels, right? It's compromise because I am involved with this person. I see a future with this person. But if I was in a toxic relationship, how do you think I would have the heart to compromise in these sort of things? So let's also put ourselves in the shoes of people who are in bitter relationships where you don't even have a voice. Would you also advise such people to compromise to the detriment of their health or their mental health or their life?
So they might not compromise, but they would have to be patient.
You have to be patient,
because some of these things are phases. We all must have experienced one thing or the other. So you must either have experienced a time in your marriage where there was, you know, no communication properly, you know, and you wanted A, or God wanted B. Both of you might not talk to each other. Or you have a relative who doesn't like you.
So that I can get everything you're saying. The call has been on hold for a while. We have Ugochukwu. Good morning, Ugochukwu. Hello? I don't think he's there.
So you might have even a relative who doesn't like your face part time, and the person is too important to the other spouse, enough for that to affect your marriage. You know, you see some people who can just say to their fathers or their mothers, no, if you don't love my wife, I'm going to work. You can see some who will say, if you don't love my husband, then it's you, I would leave. But some, you will have them turn to have that relative not be in their lives. And as a woman or a man, you have to be patient to see that resolve itself, rather than, you know, just walk out. Because, okay, he loves Ramat, for instance, but Miriam is his elder sister he also respects and loves. And maybe their parents are no longer alive, but this is his only sibling. And you're married to him already. And both of you, you will now say, no, you can't tell a person like that. You have to wait it out, wait it out. You know, something might happen and Miriam becomes the best friend to her and both of you have it all. And, you know, so some people will just be like, no, I can't stay or I can't deal. In life, you must have some things, you have to be patient with them. What I would not advise is when it is life-threatening. You know, this thing we call mental health. We forget that a stronger part of mental health is also resilience, that you can fight things through. You come out of those kind of trials and you're tougher. You're stronger, you're greater, you go into life and you just, you know, continue to break and win things.
Actually,
so
marriage,
I've been told that we have to go on a short commercial break. There's something coming up. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is to inform our audience that we are breaking away from our regular programming to go live to Marina, Lagos for the announcement of 1,200 African entrepreneurs across 54 African countries by the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Our regular programs continue on our UK channels on Sky 534, while our viewers in Nigeria can continue watching Your View and other regular programs on our YouTube channel at the TVC News Nigeria. Now back to our topic, but we have a caller, Swat from Abuja. Good morning, Swat.
Good morning.
Are you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Swat from Kaduna, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Good morning.
You're live.
All right. Wonderful job, ladies.
We can barely hear you. Volume, please.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Sorry, wonderful job, ladies.
The line isn't clear.
Wanted to contribute to what you guys are saying. I see the topic that I think is very important.
Okay.
We have to talk about this thing. First of all, I'd like to say that anyone who is not willing to compromise is not ready to get married. Because the truth is, like, one of the presenters was saying, people with different strengths and weaknesses come together to complement each other. You get it? So I think it's really very important. But one thing people need to learn to understand is the period of courtship is a very important, period for people before they get married. That's where you get to observe things that you think you can take. And also to, choose your partner wisely. Choose the one that you know you can carry, and just ensure that if the red flags are too much for you to bear, don't go into a marriage that you know that you can't get the things, all because you are desperate to get married. So that's why you have the period of courtship, so that you're able to choose the one that you know that you might not be comfortable with it, but it's something that you can bear, you can overlook it, And there are times, of course, that
we're struggling to really hear you. We're struggling to hear you. I'm sure the viewers heard. Yeah.
I know she said something about the courtship is really important.
Yeah, so you know some of these things and avoid the one that won't work for you. Ramat, are you ready?
Okay, so all I want to say is in marriage, you have to give up some of your likes. You have to give up some of the things that you really like for the marriage to actually work. I'm sorry for the lady that is going through the stuff of her spouse having a smelly mouth or something. Yeah, there are ways that you have to accept it, one. Is either you accept it or number two, you try as much as possible. Maybe when you are, like I said, if you're about to kiss or you want to do something, if it's that important to you, you can use, there are so many herbal remedies, and all that you can use before you can kiss and all. Okay. So if that's really a problem, I'm just going to say you just have to kind of like accept it and take it as one of those things.
Yeah, so also I wanted, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
sure.
you were saying something about compromise in a healthy relationship and being in a toxic relationship. So compromising is not always easy. And you can grudgingly compromise in a healthy relationship.
True.
I'm compromising, but you can see on my face that
I don't
am
like
compromising, So it's not that, healthy relationships have very easy compromises. I'm trying to say that, everybody deals with it somehow. And many times when we talk about these things that we deal with in marriage, people always say, did you not court? Did you not whatever? But for many of us who are married, we understand that, yes, in the courting, it gives you a glimpse of the sort of person that person is, is a kind person, is a firm person, is a hardworking person, that sort of thing. But what marriage does is that it puts you different tests, time per time,
Every day.
Something comes up, different factors come up, and then it tests your character. So it's not that you did not notice some things, it's that there's always a new situation, always a new combination of factors that now test your character. So, and then you find yourself having to compromise on some things. You have, let's say you're dating a very nice person. Everything you want, he always does. He listens to you. You get married, and then things are maybe getting tough. And he says, you know what, I put my foot down. You're not doing this particular business. I have done this and done this because of the economy, because of something. And in your mind, you're like, this man is just a wicked person. But he's not. His kindness looks like wickedness at this point because he's looking at the bigger picture and we're adjusting. So sometimes I just want us to understand that it's not that people do not caught or did not pay attention. But the reality of life is that sometimes things happen out of the blue and we have to adjust. You have married a man who is so good to you and everything, and then you find that he's in a relationship with someone at work. For some people, like, that's my deal breaker, I can't handle it. But we've spoken to women who have sat through it, and they'll tell us many years after of how they compromise and stay through it. I'm not giving anybody any advice here. Yes, I'm just saying that some things that you would not, you cannot stand. Some people have been able to compromise and come out on the better side because of that.
So we have a caller, Sylvester from Ikoyi. Good morning, Sylvester. Sorry, we lost that. This thing you just said now reminded me of something I heard a long time ago, where they said when you're courting and you're dating, you show your representative, not necessarily your real self.
You don't even know. You
put your best foot forward.
Exactly.
So the person who is going to hang out to get to know this person is well dressed, you brushed your teeth, you combed your hair, you're looking good, you picked out the shoe. In fact, your siblings will help you pick out the shoe. You're going on a date to pick out dresses, you look good. Now, when situations happen around, you try to manage your anger and all of that. You don't really show your true self till you get into the home. They say no matter how long you date, there are some things that the person will still find out when you're married. Because when you're married, they say two of them are naked and not ashamed. Your nakedness is opened to the other person. You are no longer hiding to poo in the toilet. The person can walk in while you are doing that. The person can walk in while you are, as it reveals everything, And then the pressures of day-to-day life now further reveals your true character and how you're able to handle different situations. So I don't think...
People are just plain stubborn. So when I was talking about hard compromises, I just thought of two instances in my marriage. I used to say that I've always been the one naming and choosing my kids' school, directing the way their life was going until God said, I want to be their daddy again.
Wow.
I decided that he was choosing school. That was a compromise that is still breaking my heart every day. Seeing my daughter and how she's trying to cope outside home. For someone, I was like that. I had a sheltered upbringing. My parents will love you till you don't want to even leave them. So I wanted to love my kids like that. I did not plan in my life that my child will wake up a day and not be able to say, Mommy, I didn't do. But my daughter is having to cope with that. Every time she calls to adjust, sometimes I will drop my phone, I'll cry very well, and will continue because the bigger goal is that he wants her to be very independent. And, so I had to compromise that. But the compromise I cannot understand, I'm calling him out tomorrow, Sunday is his birthday, is why don't you want to close your wardrobe door? I'm always kicking that door every day. And they'll be like, because you have to kick it.
Yes.
And it's a compromise. I'm living with every time we go, oh God, close the door.
I think my own is my husband jogs the whole of the world and then walks all the way to the bedroom with his shoes.
Oh my goodness.
Ow, that thing. One day I was so upset. I was like, God, put your shoes outside. Don't come. He says, Madam, there are so many things that you do.
I don't complain.
I don't complain. When I sat there, I thought, I was like, yes, there are so many. So if this is the only one that you better just accept, like, it's true. So when I see it, I just pick it and clean the area and put it outside. Until tomorrow, he still does it.
I'm telling you, this morning, the doors are always like this. I'm like, just do this thing. Like, it's not hard. And he has the perfect door. So my own door is faulty. And I have to take effort to close it because I can't leave it open. And then your own that is just good. Just do them, they'll close themselves. We'll see widening them like this every day, 15 years. 15 years, not a day that has failed.
Not a day, yes. There are some things that you have been doing too for 15 years. That if I ask,
that can only be cooking.
He will tell
we used to have this back and forth about my addiction to chewing gums.
Okay.
And this Ramadan, I've been deliberate that I'm going to give it up this year. And I did not announce, so I'm forced to talk about it. I did not announce. So even though I'm not fasting, I'm on my period, I've not bought a gum.
She told us.
I've announced it, I'm on my period, so I'm drinking. So, I don't get shame. So I have decided that I'm never going back to chewing gums. But my husband hasn't noticed. He's still leaving the door open. So we had a fight about...
maybe he has noticed, but he has not just said anything to you yet.
Let me pause you, Nima, please. Let's take this call. Ihuoma from Festac. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm
welcome to the show.
my question is this. I like this topic. I just say, how do you compromise? Married to a man that I love garlic and I don't like garlic. And the smell of garlic is there. How do you go about it?
How do you do what?
Please come again.
Do you tell me, ma?
No, we didn't get that.
Could you repeat?
I said, married to a man that I love garlic and I don't love garlic.
Oh, wow. So how do you cope with it? Does it chew it raw or you have to put it in his food?
I have to put it with stew when I'm cooking.
But garlic is nice for stew.
I'll tell you.
But garlic
Find a
is
way to
healthy.
love it now. It's healthy for you.
I'm telling you.
It's healthy.
I swallow mine.
It smells me up, seriously.
Yeah, but the smell is really very...
I'm used to the
So-
smell.
Can be...
That's above
comforting
the,
sometimes.
compared to the health benefits of it.
Yeah.
Garlic does a lot of things, and you might have a genetic thing with the side that, you know, they've always used garlic for. You just need to learn. That's part of loving someone.
And
You need
compromise.
to learn to love. So my husband cannot stand garlic. But me, I cannot live garlic. So we are still living.
So,
So whatever is valid, let's not just push her.
No, I'm not pushing it aside. We're,
I'm just
we're
saying,
also trying to
I
appeal.
hear you. It's I mean, it's valid,
Valid.
and but it's something you can compromise.
Exactly.
You can't.
Just
So, and I'm sure you have been doing
Because
it,
she's
but-
the one in charge. So my late father's friend, the one that we had his burial on Friday last week, doesn't eat any kind of seasoning. No salt, no Maggi, no anything, no seasoning. I remember traveling to Ife for my first holiday, and they gave me food. If you see the way the stew was red,
you were
the meat was
expecting
swimming.
great taste.
I just dug in. And the first one,
it was bland.
and they're like, oh, you're feeling me. I said,
They have heard it.
So I noticed the wife was really laughing, as if she was really rolling over. So she gets that effect from every visitor that comes in. So she was just looking at me, and in the night she now called me to the kitchen. She said, "Only there's a way we go about it." She now showed me the
Our
stash
own.
somewhere that, but you dare not give daddy any of these things. So we all stayed there and learnt it. So she had her stash somewhere. There's a way we now, when you're doing it, you put a small aside. If you cannot get to put your small, because you know some of these things, you can't put them after the food is fully done. You just give up. So when I ate it for the 3 days,
You adjusted.
I adjusted
You know,
to it.
I'm just realizing that I've compromised on something that I have forgotten that compromised.
Yes.
Yeah, so it became a part of
See,
you.
onions and pepper. No matter what I cook, I will add that on top. I love it. But my husband can't. He can't stand it.
Raw.
Like, no, he can't even stand pepper. You know, it affects
yes,
him.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm just realizing that in my house we don't really cook with pepper as much.
Yeah.
It's been happening.
Yes.
I didn't
It now
realize.
becomes your new normal.
Ah.
I used to,
Have to use it.
my best food used to be beans.
That's-
In fact, the first meal I ever gave to this Ogal was beans. He ate it too. We're dating. He did not complain. He ate the beans. So in my head, okay, we're good with the beans. As we enter marriage, auntie, I don't like beans. Oh. Eh? From where? Then when I stopped, I reduced and right now we struggle to even make beans. Then I also gave birth to a boy who doesn't want to see beans. And when I want to insist that you must eat these beans, come, you must eat this, the father will say, leave him. I don't eat. Don't force him. Give him something else. Give him another option. Only for me to realize that we no longer cook beans in our house.
Just like my husband.
You know?
My husband does not like draw.
Now what?
Doesn't like draw soup. Anything that draws, he does not like it.
Okay.
So automatically in my home now, we don't eat draw soup.
Vegetables and-
Because he determines, like, because he doesn't eat draw, so in my house, we hardly...
After a while, you won't
we
bother.
just stop. We just be doing our vegetable soup
So
and
you
egusi
feel
soup
like
and all.
it's about compromise.
So these are-
So let's
But this one, some people will be listening to us and saying, hey,
No, it's good that we're sharing
easier.
this.
But for this
But-
lady,
no,
for
no,
this
no,
lady
that-
that
you-
talked
yeah,
about
but
garlic,
I'm going somewhere.
Let's hear
Level.
one person.
Okay,
for,
go ahead.
for this lady that talked about garlic, I would have said just put a little in the food. Or don't put at all. But one thing with garlic is that once you don't put it, the person will know.
Yes.
So your husband will know. But just put a little in it so that it won't be so much, so that you'll be able
Miriam.
to...
Yes, I was going to say that, you know, we're talking about these things and we're laughing. And somebody might say, these are easy things. But the truth is, it's really about how you handle it.
Yes.
I've seen some people go really crazy over things I've thought, it's not that deep. Why are you so upset about it? So sometimes in compromising or being asked to compromise, let us look at our attitude. Is it something that we can deal without having to get upset about and eventually it works out? But if it's not something you can deal at all, then have better conversations and communication.
Also, the fact that your spouse is compromising a certain thing
For you.
doesn't make it doesn't give you the leverage to just continue doing it. So me, I always take my one overdo. My husband doesn't like yams.
Okay.
And if you want to honor me, do yam and egg. There's a way I do my put a lot of tomatoes,
Put eggs.
a lot of onions, as if the onions offended you.
Yeah.
It's not their generation of onions inside.
Yeah.
And you have done me well. So I came home one evening, I was really tired. I put in effort to do the sauce. He likes the sauce, but don't let it not be with yam. It can be with anything else. And I served it, and I was like, why did you do yam? And I just rolled my eyes like, it's not be food. This is after all these years we've been talking about it every time. Can you do small yam? But he will put it out of love because I have already cooked. And so, usual attitude, I just got arrogant and rolled my eyes like, and I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm not going to eat. I was like, I then tried to manage it after I'd already started it. I was like, it's not, oh yeah, next time. He said, no, there will be no next time. I will not eat this one. Come and carry your food. Shameless me, kuku sada, I ate everything.
Jesus. That's my major attitude. Let's take this call. Tayo from Ikorodu. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy speaking with ladies.
Aww.
I joined you over this morning.
Thank you for
Thank
Yes,
you.
I want to contribute to the topic of my husband smokes. And I'm this kind of person, I don't love the smell. Even when I'm outside,
Smoke.
when people are smoking around me, I have to go inside.
Oh, wow.
So my husband smokes. Till now, I don't like kissing him because of the smell. But I have to do compromise on other things, do other things,
Exactly.
so that the marriage will keep on working. Though he complains, he loves kissing. But I already told him I don't like the smell. Until now, we are good. This is 8 years.
So
So
how
now
do you
we
handle
still
it? You don't kiss as much? Or you don't kiss at all?
Once in a while. Maybe when he doesn't smoke, then I will kiss him. But when he smokes, I don't. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Does it
Thank
happen? Let me say something. Sometimes I imagine, can you like put a tom-tom in his mouth or one of those minty stuff and then
Kiss him.
kiss so that
For
the flavor?
smoking is-
Yeah, I'm just asking. If
It's
it
deep.
can be romantic. I mean,
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I like where we are going, which is, I like the points Miriam raised, that sometimes it seems like we are sharing the very easy stuff.
Yeah.
But at the time we were going through it, it was not easy. You know, we can gist about it now and it seems like, is it not beans you
Because
gave
of
up?
that thing you
Is it
said.
not garlic you gave up? Is it not this one you gave up? But at the time we're having those conversations, they were not funny. You don't tell somebody whose best food is beans, that I don't eat beans, so. And one of the things that even made me or made him like me in a way was the fact that I could cook. I was good in the kitchen and I used to be proud of my cooking abilities, right? And then you now pick one food and say, no, I don't eat this one. It was a dent to my, an attack to my, I took it personal, yes, so it was an attack to my
culinary
personality and my culinary skills at the time. And I felt really, you love me now, you should accept all of me, right? So it was something that we now had to over and over and over before it became like, okay, the norm. I don't even remember anymore. I have to make sure I put in the timetable at least once in a week. Let's have beans. And before he eats the beans, I would have called him during the day, baby,
prepare
now
his
beans
mind.
with a chop to prepare his mind. But I grill fish for you, or snail day, or gizzard day, where we go take chopper. You know, I prepare his mind every week for him to eat that beans, right? So how do we not trivialize people's compromise? Now, this is not just for outsiders, but even for the partners. Because sometimes you tell your partner that you don't like this, but the partner is feeling like, this shouldn't be a big deal now. Why are you complaining about this, madam? How do we get to that point where we understand everybody's compromise or their contribution as valid, no matter how little it seems to us?
Try and make as much effort as your partner is making. And don't ever, because I wear hijab, and so you can't bring in a friend, a guest to sleep over without proper conversations, even a family member.
that's a deal.
So that's a, so if someone can be at the door and it's a lady, I will be like, my husband is just okay, without running it through him that my friend is visiting. So he used to think, well, you make strong emphasis when somebody, as in, if your friend is coming, you want to host them in the parlor, not in my room. You need to tell me that someone is there. You can't. Once that person, I don't know, you have to go out and meet that person. That's a rule. I'll be shouting and raising the roof. But when it comes to my own turn, hey, that's my friend now. Are you not just a man?
Trivialize his own.
So we had that conversation. I just thought the rule was made only for me and cannot be made for somebody else. You know, and so when it was like, you know, the body you cover is what I cover as well. And I deserve that right as well. And such talks just taught me, exactly what you want and how you want it.
Is the same way the other person.
You know,
the
pay
same
it back.
thing, yeah.
Pay it back. So if, for instance, your own is garlic that you cannot stand and he loves it, pay it back in a way that, you know, whatever he's paying you back for. So when you both give up some things in life, both of you are forming a new family values, new rules, new things that you can stand. For instance, Miriam said that now pepper, it has become their goes. They don't even know how pepper sells in the market. My husband, for instance, likes only stew. And I love my okras, my ewedu, as in I swim in them. So I've learned, I bought these 2 set plates. There are 2 soups, but we're eating the same because we eat together. There are 2 soups,
Okay.
but they're
Those plates with partitions.
Yes. So you see my own swimming in the way if I had a drink them. And then you see his own just small. But we're still eating together. Just find a way, you know, because it's a home. A home, I say, is always like a business. You're investing, he's investing. Everybody's bringing in what they can, you know, and trying to make it work.
Now that you talk about eating from the same plate, I don't like to do that. And I wonder if I had married someone who liked to eat from the same plate, how I would have handled it.
You would have coped, too.
I can't stand it. It also reminds me, my husband, well, he used to snore. He doesn't snore as much.
Or is it that you've gotten used to it now? You don't know the intensity of the snoring?
No, he actually doesn't even snore as much because it was sort of related to health thing.
Okay.
And I am such a light sleeper. Like, I can't, any tiny noise and I'm up. Oh, there used to be times I'd be like, oh! I would get up in bed at night, don't be staring at him. Anger, you know. But you're right about eventually getting used to the sound. But of course, he's done some work and he does not snore as much. But I remember, you know, one time he was snoring and I thought, this sounds like music in my ears. So I was telling him, yes. So I was saying to him, I said, this is your snore. I said, honestly, it sounds like music. So he was like, what happened? I said, it's because you've been behaving yourself. You've been so good. So now all your bad habits just seem like flowers. So, yeah.
See, like, I'm the one snoring now. Oh, that stop snoring. Because when I sleep and snore, I hear myself.
How?
I don't
even know when I snore.
I hear myself.
Yeah,
sometimes I wake up, I'm like, did I snore? I'll be like, loud. You almost shake the house. I'm the one snoring now.
Snores sometimes, but when you just wake him up and tell him, you're snoring, once he changes position, it stops.
Okay.
I wasn't snoring till I got pregnant for my 3rd baby. And then one day he said, baby, I didn't sleep. I said, what happened? Say you were snoring. I said, me? Me?
Argue, yes.
Yeah. That's how I was arguing.
He said, it just started, and I understood it was a pregnancy.
I started 20.
I said, I was shocked.
In my house,
you know?
no one's allowed to tell me I snore. I do not snore. I never snore. Snoring does not happen with me.
Yeah, so I think we have to coast down on this topic. Some of the things we've learned is your attitude as well when you're, you know, hearing the feedback and trying to compromise. How do you tell the next person? How do you handle some of the feedbacks that they get? And secondly, no compromise is trivial. No matter how little it sounds, we must pay attention to the emotional needs of our partners. So sometimes, you know, I complain about some things like, madam, this is too small for you to be. It's not small to me. For me to get this feeling of anger or resentment or whatever it is that comes at the time, it should tell you that this has hit somewhere in my emotional space and it's not small for me. So we must listen to our partner and work hand in hand. So if we're in a team, we are all working to score the goal. We cannot be playing against ourselves. We are playing for the same team, and that's how marriage is. And hopefully, by the grace of God, we'll be able to compromise better in our marriages. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we move on to yet another topic. Stay with us.